Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Welcome one more time to our Instagram live. I really appreciate the fact that you are taking some time to be with us today. So, we are going to have a very special Instagram live. We are going to connect with Rebecca Gitana, and our topic for today is home healing and personal empowerment. I just pinned it right there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much. So, yes, today we are going to cover home healing and personal empowerment. Rebecca Gitana, she's going to guide us because, we are all, or the majority of us, are working from home. But sometimes we feel uncomfortable. We don't have a space dedicated to our work, like our workspace, right? And it happens to me. I do have a space, but sometimes I feel uncomfortable. Sometimes I have to go to the living room. Sometimes I don't find myself. So Rebecca Gitana is going to show us, and it's going to explain us the reason why sometimes in our own home we feel uncomfortable when we are working. So if you have questions, whether it is about saging, whether it's about Palo Santo, whether it's the best way to find, that specific place to feel better in your house, in your home, just shoot your questions, leave them in the comment section, and I'm going to make sure to read it to Rebecca so she can answer it back. Okay, so as usual, I would like to know if everybody can see me and hear me properly. So thank you so much for joining us. So let's connect with Rebecca. I think she's here right now. So let me connect with her. So please leave your questions in the comment section. Any questions you might have, please leave it here. I'm just waiting for Rebecca to join us, and so we can connect with her. So thank you so much for the comments. Hi Giselle, hi Stacy, hi the brand fit. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you like the makeup. Thank you Marcy. Hi Lisa. Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Yeah, today I was feeling very inspired. Very green, so that's why I went with green and yellow. So thank you so much. So I'm just waiting for Rebecca. She is here right now, so let's connect with her. Okay, she's here. Rebecca, can you see me? Can you hear me? ¿Me escuchas? ¿Me oyes? ¿Me sientes? Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here together with everyone. And
I'm happy too. I'm very excited. What we are covering today is super interesting. I'm very glad that I know you have always a very busy schedule. And just the fact that you made some space for us today means a lot. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, for sharing all of these beautiful viewers with me. Hi, everybody. Sending you so much love wherever you are. I'm glad that you're excited. Yes.
So the first thing, for those who doesn't know who you are, let's explain who is Rebecca Gitana. Rebecca Gitana, la curandera.
Yes. I'm me. I'm a child of the Caribbean, born in New York City. I have been really connecting with my ancestral roots. I've been connecting with my island. I've been connecting with nature, the cycles, for many years. And I say that about connecting with our home roots because that is one of the most empowering things that has ever happened in my life, which is connecting really with my ancestral roots, with the motherlands, and we all have one. So if you want to feel empowered and like grow into yourself as a woman, as a curandera, as a counselor in the community, connect with your ancestral.
Okay, we are back.
Yes.
I think we had a little, okay, great. Sorry, I think we had a little problem with the internet, but we are back. So yeah, great. You know, I would like to go straight to the topic because, and I'm going to tell you something that happened to me yesterday. So I have a space in my home just for, you know, my work and all that. But I was feeling very uncomfortable. I don't know if it's because of, at the beginning I thought it was like maybe it's the chair, maybe I'm a little bit tired. Let me just move to the living room. And then when I went there to a more comfortable space, I was feeling the same, like anxious and a little bit, you know, like uncomfortable. So I know you're an expert when it comes to home healing and finding that perfect place and rearranging so you can feel, you know, comfortable in your home. So can you please tell me if there's a meaning or there's a reason behind their experience that I had that I'm pretty sure other people is having as well?
Yeah, well, number one, we're using our homes in newer ways. So many people went out to work every single day and they came home. So they only saw their home after dark or on the weekends. We're using our homes way more. And so therefore, there's going to be more energetic gunk in the house, the same way that there is more mess in the house that we're home more, right? So we have to keep that in mind. And if at any time you're working in one room, it doesn't feel good, you're working in another room and it doesn't feel good, that's a clear indicator that you and the space needs a little bit of a clearing. And so how can we clear ourselves, right? We can have a really big glass of water, hold that water in our hand, meditate, ask this water to bring clarity to our mind and to our energetic field. We can also look around the home and say, you know what, maybe the house needs a little tending to. Maybe I need to do some energetic clearing through using smoke like sage, using your voice, singing, banging cups all around, chimes, anything that you can use to break up that energetic clutter is really powerful. So that's probably what's going on. Your home just needs a little refresh.
Perfect. So let's say that I do the refresh, as you said, and I have my sage, I have my Palo Santo, and all the things that you suggested, but I'm not feeling 100%, you know, comfortable. Yeah. What can I do in that case? Maybe rearrange the furniture?
Yes. So the first thing I would say is to set an intention for what you want. You've cleared, right? That's one thing is clearing, but now you need to like lay down the intention. What do I want to feel in this space? And then when you set that intention, look around and see if your environment matches that intention. Okay. So it's like, my intention is I, want to watch less TV and I want to exercise more. Well, then look into your living room space. Is your TV the focal point? Do you even have a space to do your exercise? So match your intention with your design. And I just urge everyone right now, look at your homes in a completely new way. Again, we're using our homes in a completely new way. So don't be afraid to take the layout even of your space and rearrange it. Don't be afraid to utilize rooms that are not supposed to be for one thing and use it for something else. So utilize your domain as it works for you. Your home is going to work for you, not you like trying to keep up the space that doesn't even really fit. Does that make sense?
That makes sense completely.
Yes.
Do you think also, I'm also, besides a writer, I'm an interior designer, and something that I learned in that career is that colors are very, very important. Yeah. There's some colors like that is used, especially in fast food, like yellow and red, that makes you feel very agitated, and that's the reason why fast food chains use it, so you can eat and leave right away, so you don't feel comfortable in that space. Yeah. So when it comes to colors, what type of colors do you recommend? Like behind, this is my workspace right here, and I have this, I don't know if you can see it, this huge frame that is has a lot of colors. It's very, striking. It's the first thing you see when you arrive to my house. So do you recommend me to keep it there, maybe to let my creativity flows, or maybe it's way too much for my work environment space?
That's a great question. So the first part was about color, right? So one of the things that I share with my clients and always implement into my designs is color therapy. color, I always say, the colors you eat with your eyes make all the difference. And depending, because I also do the healing work, the metaphysical, work, I know how to match the two. We have chakras, but it's not just about matching colors and chakras, because there's anecdotes and there's recipes in that, right? And then there's also the aesthetic recipe. But yes, colors do affect you, and I want everyone to think about that. When you wake up in the morning, what colors are you seeing? Are the colors around you irritating you? Are they inspiring you? Are they motivating you? When it comes to workspaces, I'll give a few colors that are really great to have on hand. Number one is yellow. Yellow is a very energizing color. It'll get you going. Very, very fresh to the eye. Green is always a great color to have around you, particularly with plants. Do it with plants. You will increase your productivity. If you say, oh, I'm terrible with plants, get a snake plant. That's easy. That's a great plant to start with. And also just even patterns of biophilia. Okay, can be very, very great to have in your workspace. What do I mean by patterns, biophilia? Leafy patterns that you would see in nature. Okay, those are really, really powerful. Now, when it comes to what you have behind you, right, that's a great question. My question to you is, do you feel powerful with her sitting behind you all the time? Or would you rather be looking at her and be inspired by that image? So it's something for you to think for yourself.
Right.
It's really good to have a very grounded space behind you if that's your permanent desk. Images like, mountains, or according to Feng Shui, are really powerful. And just empowering colors can be really great behind you. I can imagine she could feel cool, but she might feel even better looking at her while you're working.
Okay.
But it's up to you. Just see. I want everyone to, while you're sitting in your home, sit down in those seats that you're always in, whether it's your work desk or your chilling out spot, and look around and see if what you're looking at, if it's inspiring you or if it's giving you more stress than not. And things that can give us stress, things like clutter, right? If you're looking at a pile of things, think about how you can rearrange that, get rid of some of that clutter. So it's very important what we're looking at, especially when you're working. If you're in a stagnant place, not everyone is.
Yes. Perfect. You also mentioned plants, and I see that in your background you have several plants.
Yes.
So this is happening to me, and I don't know if it's because of going back to the energy thing. So I'm going to tell you my experience. I will say like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I received someone in my house, and I had this plant. I think it's called succulent, something like that.
Succulent,
The succulent, right? So 2 days later, it was perfectly fine. She was growing. She was beautiful. And then, like a fungus, something weird happened, died.
Yes.
Right away, I throw it away, and I went to the supermarket in the plant area, and I bought like a mini roses, and died again, and I put it in the very same container, the very same pot that was the other plant before. Of course, I cleaned it, all that, but died again. Plants absorb that energy.
Yes. So, and I know this because my mothership, right? I have that's my home. I call my home my mothership. My mothership has tons of plants, and I do have a space at the mothership where I receive clients, and I can definitely say that the plants absorb energy. They are another curandera. She calls the plants they're plant allies. Like there are allies in life, and so they do absorb energy. And you should take notes if someone comes to your house and your home reacts. I always pay attention to that. How does my home react to this person? Does my home like this person? It's as simple as that, or not. And you can kind of tell. Sometimes a plant could die. Somebody comes over, somebody that you love. Maybe they just have a lot of toxicity going on inside of them. Doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but you should definitely take note, because we also take a beating when we're around other people's energies. So just clean out that space. I would say, you said that you cleaned out the pot. So
yes,
if you ever have a plant that dies, you could tell it was sick, you want to throw away the dirt and everything in there. Maybe just give that pot a rest for a while. Maybe put it in the sunshine and let it like get new, you know, cleanse itself with the yang energy of the sun. But yeah, try a different pot, and just that corner of your home may need some energetic cleansing.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, that's something that I'm going to do. Let's talk about also a little bit of oracle cards. That's something that I am very into, and I know that you also have certain experience with it. I own my own deck, and I would like to know, after certain period of time, or how often do I need to cleanse that deck and start, like, you know, from scratch, like fresh, like if it's a brand new deck? What's the ritual? What's your recommendation for that?
So yes, I love using the cards. The cards are a fantastic medium, and I do, for the last 10 years, I've been offering spiritual counseling through the cards. And your decks they take on an energy all their own, and it's really incredible. So if you have a new deck, for instance, and you want to make this deck yours, the number one tip I have is to put that deck near your bedside, okay, and sleep with around that deck. Okay, if ever I want to make anything mine, or I want to, you know, gain a relationship with this inanimate object, I will sleep with it. I will have it in bed with me, and I will just get to, like, it's an exchange of energy. So the deck, leave it by your bedside. You know, the usual, the saging, all of that is good. I also love, like, if I'm gonna do a reading for myself or for someone else, even knocking on the deck a few times to wake it up, to infuse your energy into the deck is really powerful. Putting crystals around it, you know, just understanding that this is not just a bunch of cards. This is an actual spiritual tool. And so when we treat it as such, the energy about it changes.
Great. So another question is, when we are doing all these sacred rituals, and we have, you know, we use our sage and our palo santo and the crystals, which I also have.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many people getting them from, let's say, mainstream or well-known places, well-known stores that not necessarily have anything to do. They sell clothes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you know which stores I'm talking about. Yes. And they sell, you know, sage and all that. Yes. Do you recommend people to do it, or it's more about the intentions that where you get the product?
So that's such a good question. Such a good question. I'm going to tell you guys how I do, right? I prefer not to buy crystals and sacred objects from those big box stores. Now, if that is your only resource, I ain't mad at it. But I will say that I like to know where I get my things from. So, for instance, sage, a lot of my herbs and resins, I like to, you know, I mean, right now it's a little difficult because of the whole situation, but every year I go to many powwows, you know, as an indigenous woman of the Caribbean, I love to connect in those ways and those kinds of festivals, and in a powwow where there's other medicine people sharing their wares. So I will stock up. I'll be like, okay, I need the ceremonial blend. I'm going to get so many bags. I'm going to get so many of this. And it becomes a little bit more, you know, you cherish these things. We don't want to get things in such a way where we're not actually appreciating the fact that we have this medicine. And we should also keep our monies for our own medicines within the community.
Correct.
There are way too many people online, people of color, people that actually have roots to these medicines, selling their wares. So you don't really need to go to those big stores. And right now, more than ever, it's important for us as a community to keep our money amongst ourselves. Correct. There are many communities that survive depressions, financial fallouts, because they keep their money together. They're all
That's
buying from one another, and nobody's feeling the pain of what's going on per se to the degree that others do, because they're busy going to the big stores. Okay. When it comes to crystals as well, I'm a crystal healer, certified crystal healer. I lay crystals on people, do the whole teach about the crystals. I want to say don't hoard crystals either. We have to respect the ebb and the flow. So while the world might be mass producing crystal stones, bringing them out, I want everybody to mindfully be mining. You understand?
correct.
And purchasing. So you don't need so much. As a crystal healer, I have my coworkers, my stone people allies, and I don't overdo, because I want to show the cosmos that I have respect and honor for the stones that I do have. Okay?
Great.
And I have certain, people that I buy from. There's one guy in Venice Beach, California, Daniel. I love him. And he has a big red van, and he pulls up to Venice Beach most days of the week. And I love buying stones from him. And I will wait till I go back to LA to buy from him. So it's like a journey thing. I have my crystal teacher in New York. I like to buy stones from her because she specifically goes to these places, and she's also about to publish a book. So it's buying things from people who are conscious of what they're selling. The keeper of these things is
Fantastic.
important.
Correct. So for those people who want to start, as you said, not collecting, but at least have like one or two or three stones for
Yes.
the beginners.
Yes.
Tell me which stones we can get, or which rocks.
Yes. So the best, if you want to get started with stones right away, I would say number one is a clear quartz. Okay. Clear quartz crystal. This is a clear quartz.
Beautiful. Great.
A clear quartz crystal is great. It's very clarifying. It's going to connect you to the higher realms. It is a great beginner stone. I would say every time you get a new stone, whether it's one that you said, I need a clear quartz, or one that jumps out to you, study it, research it, understand like all the different properties, communicate with it, understand that you have a piece of Mother Earth's womb. What a gift is that?
Correct.
Right? So honor it as such. Another stone that is really great is black tourmaline. It's a great protection stone, and it's also really great for helping to kind of fend off a lot of that radioactive, all that energy that comes off of our cell phones and things like that. And then right away, the other stone that's coming to mind, I guess the stones are funny because sometimes they'll be like, talk about me, talk about me. I'm like, I hear you, malachite. I hear you. The malachite. Malachite is a really powerful stone. It's a green stone. Green is the most revitalizing color in the spectrum. It's great for the heart chakra. I have literally healed heartache by putting a malachite stone on my heart space and going to sleep. Like, when you're hurt, your heart is hurting so much you could feel
Yes.
it. Yes, malachite helped me to heal a broken heart. So maybe somebody out there needs that. But it's a very empowering stone, grounding, and it's a heart healer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I have another very, very important question.
Yes.
When we are, for those who doesn't, because I know there's so many people listening and, what is the sage and Palo Santo and all that. This is a sage. Well, I have a new one here. Let me show. It comes like this.
Yes.
But this is my sage, right? This is my Palo Santo.
Yes.
And the question here is, this or this? For the fire. So should I use something like this very quick, or should I just use the, traditional wood matches?
Both are fine.
Okay.
The match, I can understand where it feels a little bit more ceremonial, perhaps. So do what feels good for you in that moment. Many times, like, I'll turn the stove on even. One thing you don't want to do, though, is light anything with a candle.
Okay.
Yeah. So just
there's any reason why?
There's a lot of layers, but it's just better to leave the candle burning and not to use the candle to light a joint or to light a sage or to light any of those things. So you want to keep it separate.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's something that I'm guilty of. Sometimes I I do it just to make it faster, or sometimes because I
Yeah.
have the sage or the Palo Santo next to the candle. So I
Yes.
thought it's the same, like it's
It's
a
not
flame. I thought,
bad, but it's just
okay.
better. Like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's better to light it manually. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
I would also like, so if there's someone that I would like to make any question, please go ahead. I think I saw one question from Sun Lion 8,
Yeah.
and
Hi,
is asking,
Lion.
is asking, would love some, oh, I would love some suggestions from tarot decks and oracle cards. That's a very good question. So do you have a particular one, like a favorite one that would you like to recommend?
Yeah, I love any goddess deck. I love a good goddess deck because the goddesses love to speak. And no matter, all my decks, besides the one that I actually created, because I have a deck that I created, it's not released to the public yet, because I'm doing the illustrations, but all my decks have kind of found me. And I would say don't go out. Sorry, that was my side. Um, don't go out into the world. Oh, I need to buy tarot decks. No, you don't. Allow the decks to find you, and allow, like, it's an organic thing. But any goddess deck, I would say, can be really great because, again, the women, it's all the facets of us. All the different archetypes that one can contain are in those decks. And so even if the book itself is not something that you're like, oh, this resonates with me, you could always look up that goddess and study that energy, that archetype, and get something for yourself.
Fantastic. Do you recommend that it's better receive them as a gift or to buy them?
Again, I think it's better to, when they find you, even
Okay.
if it's like, I've had clients have sessions with me and they're like, oh my God, I love that deck. I have to get that deck. That deck really spoke to me. Allow things to speak to you. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But don't go crazy. You don't need a million decks.
Okay,
I was even doing readings for the longest time with like 2 decks, one of which I made. So you don't need a bunch of decks to get your messages.
Okay,
Again,
great.
it's like that we're so in that consumer mindset that we need to have and have and have, but then we forget the sacredness of what we do have, and that's important.
That's great. So I love readings, and you are an expert for that. So please tell us all, how can we, after this conversation, connect with you, book an appointment, go to your website, and explain, tell us what we can do.
Yes. Okay. If you want to learn more about me and all of my offerings, visit my website. It's my name, RebeccaGitana.com. Everything is there. There's a lot of offerings that were still more during time of COVID and like real lockdown. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me as I'm like starting to open up my in-person books. But yeah, if you ever want to work with me, whether it's spiritual counseling through the cards, I do that via video. Those sessions are really great because it's not just me pulling cards. We actually create ceremony and ritual around you opening your heart space, opening up your channel to the divine. And that in itself is so empowering. By the time we even get into the cards, you're already feeling refreshed because we've already put in some spiritual work. And that's what we have to get into the cycle of. We want to spiritually grow. It's going to take a little sweat, but it always feels good in the end, right? And I would love to meet you in session, spiritual counseling through the cards. The cards just give us permission to go in. And we cry together, we laugh together, we come up with a game plan. You actually get tools and rituals and things you can implement right away to get you on track and in your power.
That's great. So everybody, one more time, go to www.com, RebeccaGitana.com, right?
Yes.
So you can learn more about her, also have your appointment, and start this amazing journey, which I personally love. And I'm also going to slide on your DM so we can start also my appointment. I'm very much looking forward to it. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to, like me, I'm pretty sure that everybody in this life is going to put in practice everything that you show us and teach us today. It's been amazing. And I'm going to throw away that pot, or at least give it a rest, and try to move things around. Yes, try to move things around. So thank you so much. One more time, RebeccaGitana.com.
Yes.
Please go support, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone out there. Be inspired today to, you know, activate your life in some way, whether it's mopping your floors or just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, hey girl, how are you? You know, like, do something today to empower yourself and to love up on yourself. And if you need me, I'm here for you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Shirley.
you. This live is going to be in our feed like in 2-3 minutes. So if you want to watch it again, if you just joined, please go back, revisit the live, and write down every single step, every single suggestion that Rebecca just gave us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Un beso. Bye bye.